Hey YouTube, Shane from Australia again. This time we're going through topical, I misspelled that. Topic 6, that's GUI applications and creating buttons with Tinker via Python. So as I showed in the last videos, we did use Turtle, which was for Turtle graphics, just drawing pretty little 2D pictures. This one actually creates GUI web applications that you use every day, like MSN Messenger, Outlook, all the applications you open up in your computer. This is how to create them. So I've already written out the code here, so you didn't have to watch me write out the code, as that might have been a bit boring for some. And I'm just going to go over how this code works. So first I imported Tinker. This is the actual module you need to import to create GUI applications, and I named it as TK, so it's easier to write out. I then created a variable called window, and the variable window that equals tk.tk with some parameters, brackets here. Now these brackets are important as they use later on in creating more complex windows, such as resize a new window, so on. Now we are creating a function here, which is just defining the function, which will be a button click function. So this function called button click will print beep when a particular button is clicked. Now we need to actually create the said button. So I'm going to read this from the book as it makes more sense. So this line here, this line creates the button and it will place it onto the window. So the line with the button variable creates a new button using the tk.button function. The first argument window states that where the button should be placed. In this case, it will be placed in the window that is created at the start of the program. The text equals click me argument tells the function what to display on the button. This is an example of a named argument. You can read about these in dig into the code sidebar that follows in this book. So you have to buy this book to read more about it. It's a cheap book. Lastly, the argument actually states what function will run and when the button is clicked. In this case, the button will be run the button click function, which is this button click function up here. That was created earlier in a program. Now the button pack function works out the size and the position of the button and actually displays the button on the window. The pack function knows to put the button on the window that was given the first argument and when the button was created. Without this function, the button will not be displayed in the main display. So you always need to remember to enter these at the end. You can add extra code into this, which basically can move the button around, change the color of the button, so on, but we're just going to keep things basic and simple here, as I am a beginner and I believe you are too. And the last one here is just your window main loop, which just keeps the actual GUI opening, GUI functioning. Key thing you got to remember with a GUI, and any GUI actually, they all run in a loop. So without a main loop command, your GUI is just going to flash open once and then completely disappear. You don't want that. So GUI is always constantly running in a loop until you terminate the loop, and that's done by pressing, the close button, like this one, like you're familiar with. So this is a GUI running in a loop. This is a GUI running in a loop. Now that's run this code and gain access to our created GUI. So run the code now. I just need to click and drag the GUI as I've got dual monitors that appear on my other screen. As you can see here, I can resize the GUI, move it up and down. You've got TK here. Now we can change the name of that by just changing the name in here. See, Windows equals TK by TK. I can put a different name up in here. You can also change the number of colors, automatic sizing, and that with this function here in your thing in your GUI. You got your function here, which is defining a function when you press the button, and if you click here, you can see here down at the shell, it just keeps on going beep beep beep, so I keep on clicking here. So I'll just resize this thing we created here, and it just keeps on running, beep. You can see it's just constantly going beep beep beep. Press it again, it just goes in beep again. The button equals TK window, text click me, command button click, that's the actual button here. You've got your button pack, which defines where your button is going to appear on the screen. You do that within the little brackets here, and you got your window main loop, which keeps the actual GUI opened and until you close it. So yeah, that's basic GUI, how to create a button. We'll get into more about GUI a bit later. It's an interesting subject, the things you can create. Anyway, have fun, YouTube.